going on, yo? Welcome back to the Cigar Ralph. Today we're gonna watch a video that's kind of old, not kind of old, it's from 2017, but I just found it and I saw the title of it and I said, yo, I gotta react to this. I gotta see what the hell this is about. It's old. So I saw all the videos with people talking about it and stuff, and I said, yo, I gotta react to this. I gotta see what the hell it is. And this is from a chick named, I don't remember, whatever her name is. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch the video.
I've got a pretty controversial topic for you guys today. We're gonna talk about incest. Why is it so bad?
So, who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
Hey guys, this is a topic I've been wanting to tackle for a while. I'm actually very excited about it because I think it's something that a lot of people won't delve into. When I made my popular opinions video, unpopular opinions, I mean, someone mentioned in the comments that they don't think that incest is that bad. And that's something that I've always thought and something that I was saving for my second video about unpopular opinions. And I've been putting this video off, but today I've been thinking a lot about what I would want to put into this video. And when I'm brainstorming a lot about a video, it's best done if I just do it in that day and don't put it off anymore. So here we are. What is incest? Ask no one ever, but just in case, if someone doesn't know, it's basically having a romantic or sexual relationship with someone in your bloodline. A lot of people cut it off at first cousin. Some people think that dating a first cousin is also gross. You get the drill. I want to ask you guys to please try to put aside your visceral reactions to the topic. The whole like,
I'll try.
ew, oh my god, that's so gross, that's disgusting. And try to think about this logically and rationally, using facts. As you guys know, it's a hobby of mine to tackle theoretical and philosophical topics. And you guys also know I like to think of myself as someone who's more rational than emotional. I try to understand why I do things and why I feel certain ways so that I can harness my emotions and use them for good rather than riding them around like a roller coaster with no control. I find that to be a better way to live my life for me personally, and I challenge you guys to try to do the same, if not just for the remainder of this video. As always, everything here is just my...
Look, man, I'm a guy, old school guy. I'm a guy, respect women and everything. We kind of all know what we're staring at right now. But let's try to pay attention to her message.
...and how I see things, and I would love to hear how you guys see things. If you disagree with me, that's completely fine. And obviously you can do whatever you want, but if you feel like just like hating me, downvoting the video, saying some rude shit, and then leaving, you can totally do that, but I would prefer if we actually had a conversation where you brought up points and told me why I'm wrong instead. Use your words and your mind. Okay, so let's first talk about why most people think that incest is fucking disgusting. First off, our biology tells us not to like people who are in our immediate relation. There's actually like certain smells and pheromones that we give off within our bloodline that kind of repulses us. And while that doesn't always work, there's a good reason for that. One of the main arguments as to why incest is completely wrong is because you have a much higher than normal rate of child deformities, retardation, basically just birth defects in general.
Well, yeah, I believe if you put your in your sister, she's gonna give birth to a centaur.
Obviously, if I was to theorize why this is the case, I would say that the mixing of different genes is just healthier. For instance, animals and insects that reproduce asexually are actually just replicating their own DNA onto their offspring, so it's basically like a copy of themselves. And while that's pretty cool, in doing so they open themselves up to a lot of different issues. If there are any flaws in the genes, they're not going to be improved in the next generation, less likely to survive diseases, things like that. Honestly, science is not my field of expertise, and I haven't read much into this, but I would surmise that the closer you get to that asexual reproduction, aka reproducing with someone who has similar genes to you, the closer you get to that issue. I feel the need to say that I've never been attracted to anyone in my family. I have no agenda with this video other than to just have a discussion with you guys and tell you my opinions, because they're very different from the norm. So what if this unholy, incestuous relationship doesn't bear children? For instance, the homosexual relationship, or one of the parties or both don't want to have kids or can't have kids. Then is it okay? Most people would say it's not, right? But why is that? Now let's think about some reasons why it wouldn't be okay. One of the reasons is a power dichotomy. Think about a mother and a child, or a father and a child. When you're raising a child and you're an authority figure, and then in adulthood you guys end up dating, there can be huge power dynamics there that make it very unhealthy for the child. It could look as though, and it can even be so, that the parent is actually coercing the child into this relationship, making them feel like that's the only way they can get love.
Hold on.
As you guys know, I am not a fan of saying, well, that's normal, or well, that's natural, and then acting as though that's the right course of action for sure, just based on that logical fallacy. But if you do raise a child under the pretenses that they should have a romantic relationship with you, you can definitely psychologically warp a child. But honestly, when it comes to like cousins or long lost brothers and sisters who meet up one day and fall in love, I don't see any problem with that. If they're being completely conscientious about all of the problems they could cause if they have children, and they're...
Okay, look, man. This is why you gotta do your investigation, man. Do your investigation. You know what I'm saying? Ask your parents, Ma, is this my sister? Look, I just met her at the bar. Is this my sister? Tell me. Cause I already you gotta know. Just do your due diligence, man, so you're not getting your sister pregnant and you're having little baby centaurs, you know, running around the world and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Taking steps to protect against that, then honestly it's really no different than a couple where one of the people has some gene that they will surely pass on to their offspring that's very bad, so they just abstain from having kids. Like, let's say some kind of horrible disease runs in their family, and they don't want to pass it on to their kids. Marrying one of those people is not bad. I honestly believe that there are people out there that just aren't affected by our biology. They aren't disgusted by the idea of having sex with someone that they grew up with, which is another point I'd like to make. Often when someone says, no, he's like a brother to me, or no, she's like a sister to me, that usually means that you've been in contact with them when you were younger and kind of grew up with them, or you've divulged so much about yourself that there's no mystery left, and then that person can't see you as anything more than a brother or sister or family member anymore, because it's like you know them too well. If that kind of bond forms before a romantic relationship forms, it can often be hard for you to see someone in a sexual way. And I honestly feel that's another part of our biology telling us that incest shouldn't happen because birth defects can happen. Spread your genes out wide and don't keep them closely crumpled. Basically just a survival mechanism. But the fact that society sees these people in seemingly...
She has some great points, but having sex with your sister is just disgusting, or your brother, or your first cousin. Now second, third, do you. But I'm just saying.
Healthy relationships and just immediately judges them, that doesn't make any sense to me. Just because you don't think it's right or it's not right in your culture or you were raised differently, doesn't mean it's inherently wrong. Even if our very biology is telling us not to do it, it doesn't necessarily make it wrong. We have many biological and instinctual properties that we don't need anymore or use anymore. In my opinion, jealousy is one of them, as we don't need to protect what's ours in a tribe and no one's out to get us, but there are many others as well. Shit, we even have organs we don't need. So is it wrong to get rid of your tonsils or your appendix, even if it's gonna kill you because it's part of our natural biology? I believe that any relationship that has some kind of varying hierarchy can become toxic, but I'm not within the relationship to actually be able to make that assertion. Just like you guys are not involved with the relationships of incestuous people that you like to hate on the internet. There are plenty of famous guys who have sex with fangirls. Why is that not looked down upon just as much as the woman who has sex with her son? She might be manipulating and taking advantage of him.
Well, the superstar didn't give birth to any of those fans. She didn't give birth to all those groupies or all those guys, girls that he or she had sex with. The mother did give birth to her son. This isn't some Oedipus Rex shit. If you like to watch those, you know, oh, stepmommy's home and we're all alone videos on Pornhub, that's on you. It's still gross.
Is it happening? You can't tell for sure unless you're like actually a part of the situation, so might as well not judge. And try to open your mind to new ideas from other people who grew up differently than you. So let's just talk about the redneck stereotype where the uneducated southern rednecks like to have incestuous relationships with each other. That was probably just based on the fact that things are rural down there and it's really hard to find another person of the opposite sex. And people who might do that tend to give less of a shit about what other people think, or be less intelligent. But I honestly don't think any of that factors into who actually has incestuous urges or not. I feel like there are tons of quote-unquote normal people who have thought they had like a super hot cousin or something, or a hot aunt, I don't know. I feel like the further removed you are from that family member, the more likely you are to find them attractive. And there are stories of brothers and sisters who have never met in their entire lives coming together and falling in love.
There have been stories, and there are stories, and you can find them on YouTube, of people who've never met each other, fell in love and got married, and then they found out that they were brother and sister. What are you gonna do then? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why you do your due diligence. You know, let me get a background check. You know what I mean?
Is that wrong? They didn't have to change each other's diapers or see each other in their most vulnerable moments.
Change each
and
other's
even if they did,
diaper?
who's to say that that's wrong?
What two
That might
children
make the
change
bond
each
with
other?
people even stronger. So I challenge you guys to, in the comments, tell me why it's not okay to involve yourself in an incestuous relationship with someone you're not having a child with, that isn't manipulating you to do so, and you're both consenting adults. Why? Just because society tells you it's weird? Just because some people have the preference not to do it? Most people have the preference not to do it? What does that matter? Live your life the way that works for you, how you see fit, and what ultimately makes you the happiest. As long as you're not hurting anyone else, who gives a shit? I fully accept all of the hate that is going to be thrown at me by people who immediately judge rather than actually listening and analyzing, and all of those who just immediately hate me because of the way I look.
Nobody hates her because of the way she looks. Oh, you hate me because of the way I look. Shut up. Me personally, I don't agree with incest or anything like that. That's crazy. She does have some good points of what if you never met this person, you know, if you were separated at birth and then years later you went ahead and you met this person somewhere in the world and now you guys are together. Do your due diligence. But still, incest, man, that is just something that is just some Oedipus Rex shit. If you don't know what Oedipus Rex is, go ahead and look it up. It's gross. It's just gross. Do your due diligence so you're not sticking your inside of your sister or your first cousin, because that's pretty disgusting. I don't know. You'll find the weirdest stuff on the internet, man. Let me know what you guys think of this video, what your opinion is on this thing. I kind of don't want to know if you've been in this situation, but I kind of do want to know. Like, it's like watching somebody jump off a bridge. We don't want anybody to jump off a bridge. We don't want anybody to do anything like that. But if it's happening, you're gonna look, let's be honest. Oh my God, I can't believe that's happening. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you on the next smoke.